Anyway, moving on to this week, we'll just go kind of jump straight into it. So, as I said at the start there, we are tackling the Invasion storyline. It is the 20th anniversary this year, which is blowing my mind because this is one of the very first wrestling storylines I remember watching as a 7-year-old boy. Typically, it's viewed as pretty much the biggest misbooking opportunity of all time. You know, WWE had basically won the Monday Night Wars. They bought WCW, they bought ECW. So everyone's like, right, here we go. We're going to finally get the big WWE versus WCW storyline. And ultimately, it was just a huge missed opportunity because they kind of jumped the gun a bit too soon. Couldn't get any of the talent that they wanted because they were all under big money contracts to just sit at home and do fucking nothing. And then, yeah, it just was not what fans they wanted. And then to make things worse, like literally the following year, they brought in all the names that they could have had for it, but they'd already wasted the storyline. So we're going to have a go at fantasy rebooking the whole thing. It's going to work in a similar fashion to when we did our Supercard. I've given the boys what's essentially a big pay-per-view schedule of WWE versus WCW. And what we're going to do is each pitch our match ideas, and we're also going to pitch the storyline going into it. So we're trying to fill, rather than go through every single thing of this storyline, we're trying to just get like a little snapshot and how it would kind of come to a conclusion. How did you find putting it together, boys? I got to say, like compared to the Supercard, this one was a lot more of a challenge, I thought.
This was very tough. Doing the research for this was very fascinating because I had to look up, of course, the rosters they had at the time and everything like that. WCW, of course, was amidst its like financial dismay. So some of the stars are very good, but the roster wasn't terribly big. So I did a lot of research because that era WCW is very much a blank spot in my wrestling knowledge, so it was good to look into that kind of thing. I also watched Sting versus Flair, which was the last match. That was a good watch. That was a good watch. Very, very kind of like humbling. Yeah, history.
Talking about that match, the first main event of Nitro was Sting and Flair, and the last main event of Nitro.
Yeah,
we love a bookend. We do love ourselves a good old circular arc.
Cyclical storytelling.
Cyclical, circular,
cisgender. Yeah.
We love. We stand cisgender wrestling.
I saw that today on Reddit and I thought it was funny. I don't know what cisgender is, but I know they shouldn't be having kids.
Oh. Right.
So anyway, the invasion angle.
The invasion angle. Anyway, yeah, so as kind of Scott alluded to there as well, there is like a few additional rules to this. So like I say, we'll be going through each match like we did last time, pitching our ideas, and then we have to vote. You obviously can't vote for yourself, and in the situation where there's either a tie or a bit of a stalemate, it'll either come down to our trusted rock, paper, scissors, or maybe even splitting the difference. We were obviously allowing the use of the wrestlers that would have been under the big license contract. We're trying to go as open as we can. So obviously names like Hogan, Hall, Nash, Steiner, they're all available for us to use. We're not using ECW as a separate brand, but as they were obviously bought up by WWE at this point, including a lot of the talent, I have said you can use them within your booking as well if you want to bring up the roster. So
I misread that bit. So I have no EC. I've made it harder for myself. I've used no ECW.
Well, when we do some bookings and then all of your other bit of the card is completely fucked because we've used all of your main event, then you can just go, Paul Heyman's in this match.
Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk. I don't know.
I mean, for my person, I did it. I kind of just stuck to the ECW guys who did actually go to WWE as well. So people like Sabu aren't there, or the Sandman, because they didn't really go there till the relaunch. Same. So I just kind of stick with that. But then I obviously did use the big name WCW guys to kind of obviously that was kind of the point of it. Right, lads, any questions before we want to get started?
No.
Can I go to the toilet?
You should have went before we started. And you were late.
Because I was going to the toilet.
Then why didn't you go again?
Fancy it.
Right. Also for each match as well, I'm not necessarily looking for each one to have a storyline. If you don't have one, you can just obviously say, well, this is what I kind of do with it. We also want to know who you think would win it. give a little bit of booking to it as well. So the first opening match would be a 6-way cruiserweight title, light heavyweight title unification match. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Screw it.
Let's go first. Come on, who have you got for it?
So this one was one of the hardest ones for me to book because I couldn't decide on who the 6 people should be. I kept taking people out. Like there was some people I've had them in the match and I was like, no, I want to use them later.
This is what I found with it as well. I kept changing people all around the card.
So my 6 are Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, Eddie Guerrero,
all right,
Chavo Guerrero, Psychosis, and Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon. That was a solid one.
Solid pick.
And any storyline going into that, or is it just because, for this match, I haven't really got one. Just kind of there.
Well, it's I didn't really think of a storyline, but I've just you can sort of do you can have the Radicals, and their whole goal is they don't care which one of them wins as long as it's not a WCW guy. At the time, obviously, the Radicals were in WWE, but in the case of Chavo Guerrero, he was still in WCW.
Yeah, that's true.
At the time, so it didn't even matter who won out of them 3 as long as it wasn't one of the WCW guys.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. And who did you have anyone listed as the cruiserweight champion and light heavyweight champion going into it?
I didn't have the champions listed. No.
That's fine.
I thought just dealer's choice. All right, it's Perry Saturn and Chavo Guerrero. They're the light heavyweight and cruiserweight champions.
Nice. And who's going over in that match?
Eddie,
fair enough. And he's obviously on WWE side at this point, isn't he?
WWE
he's not
side,
defected or anything. That's fine.
I'm not having any defections or anything like that.
Well, obviously,
too confusing.
You could do backstory to this if you wanted to, but that's fine. That's if you're going that way. Do you want me to go next? I've got mine lined up.
I'll go next.
All right.
That's my defection. I'm defecting to another podcast. Wait, hold on. Thanks, Scott. Say that again.
The lights have gone out. By God, Greg was getting ready to do his. Whoa! It's Garrett.
And I'm
my
back.
God.
God, I was too bright now. Shit.
Glorious. No, I won't give in. I won't give in till I'm victorious.
You need to get a bit of sun there, buddy.
I can't spin anymore. I do. I'm so
Bobby
pale.
Roode used to be cool.
All right.
My 6-way ladder match is Rey Mysterio versus X-Pac versus Kidman versus Chavo versus Malenko versus, I was going to say Guerrero, but the other Guerrero, Eddie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hector.
He's also there.
Vicky.
Just watching. Vicky is also there watching.
Chavo Senior.
Also up there with the titles is Dominic. Don't think he was born at that point, was he? I don't remember.
A glint.
He's up there as well. He's up there as well.
Sperm.
I don't really have too much of a story for this. I'd probably have both of the Guerreros go in as champs, respectively, and then I would have I'd probably have Mysterio win because he's Rey Mysterio and it'd be big with kids, and it's a good opening pop as well. Rey Mysterio. I remember Rey Mysterio being huge when I was that age. What was I, 5, 6? I vaguely remember being like, that guy's mask. He lay big and purple. Wow.
Wow. Who is he? We don't know.
Plus, you've got people in there. Like when I was training to be a wrestler with this guy down there, the wrestler that I most wanted to really emulate was Dean Malenko because he wasn't super taller than me, not hard, but he's just so good. Have you ever seen Dean Malenko's top rope knee break? He has them in a fireman's carry and he's on I think usually the second or top rope, and then just, oh, hello. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you. And he's on the second. He's on the second rope. has him on the fireman's carry, and then just like jumps down and gives them like a backbreaker. It's so good. Anyway,
Gary, we need to start getting your brother to just deliver your food in different costumes every week.
Give him the Cameron Grimes
What's he going to be this week?
Yeah. Give him the Cameron Grimes. I'll go full LA Knight, and I'll just have him come in like butler attire.
One week and
brilliant, thanks guys. Scott, why don't you take us through your one?
Okay, hear me out for mine. I think I was this was of course the last match I made, very much like you guys. I was chopping and changing the entire way through. I had about 13 to 14 drafts of it, and the final draft I made of it, I was drunk last night. So I think my booking of this match reflects this in a way. So we're starting off with Hurricane, and this, and then it's Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, like all of you. I also went for Hardcore Holly and Spike Dudley.
Nice. There's some interesting choices there. You got anyone going in as champion?
I'm gonna say Hardcore Holly and Chavo.
Solid. I mean, would you have said Hardcore was part of the light heavyweight division?
I
said maybe Crash.
Crash.
I'll change it to Crash. I'll change it to Crash now. I don't know why I always thought Hardcore Holly was a little boy.
No.
Fucking unit, man.
Maybe I've just been looking. Yeah, no. Like I said, I had a couple beers and I wrote that down. But I'll say Crash Holly then. Crash Holly is champ going into that, and I would say winner coming out of it. It's got to be Eddie. Come on, we love Eddie. Eddie's a good boy. I'll even have him do like a post-match celebration with his car that goes up and down a lot.
that dancing car.
That dancing car. By Jove, that car dances.
It's Herbie on MDMA.
It sounds like a weird. Sounds like a weird kids' TV program. Eddie and the Dancing Lowrider.
I'd watch that now.
I'd watch that now. Yeah,
I'd watch the hell out of that. I mean, I think we've all kind of gone along very same lines. So for my 6-way opening match, I've gone with X-Pac, who's going in as the light heavyweight champion. Versus Taka Michinoku versus Tajiri, and they're all on the WWE side of things, versus Billy Kidman versus Rey Mysterio, who's going in as Cruiserweight champion, versus the Hurricane. Again, like you guys, there isn't really much of a story here. It's just like a Cruiserweight match is like always one of the best ways to kind of kick off a big show like this. And I'd have Billy Kidman walk away with the belt, so that's like 1 point to WCW.
A good shout. Who are we voting for then?
I'll tell you what, I'll give my vote first because I really like Tajiri, and was it Keiji Muto you did as well?
No, Taka Michinoku, but
Taka Michinoku.
Taka's amazing.
You had a drive.
Yeah, I'll go Greg.
I was thinking Greg as well. Like Garrett, you had me at Tajiri and Michinoku.
You had me at Tajiri. I completely forgot about Tajiri.
Yeah. It's such a shout.
Quickly scribbles out Tajiri for the WWF Championship.
Brilliant. So that's first match decided is from my one. Thank you very much, my boys. So moving on, the next match was just a simple singles contest. Who would like to kick off this one?
Oh, I'll kick it off.
Oh.
Right, Gary got there. Go on, Gary.
No, Scott. Scott.
You like me to go first?
No. Anyway,
well, you're in the match.
My second match would be you'd have this fun high flying at like over the top opening in this 6-man ladder match, and then you just have two behemoths, right? Two top of their game. Well, one of them was top of their game, probably not at this point, but I would put Kurt Angle against Mr. Perfect.
Oh,
it was. I knew I was putting Kurt Angle early on, right? Yeah, because he's Kurt Angle. And then the second, his opponent, I was thinking there was a few people, but then I thought about the story that they could tell, and just I'm imagining the build up to this just being kind of a little bit goofy, a little bit Kurt Angle-y, but in the end, it's just like putting on a clinic as
Yeah.
they do. You know, the perfect wrestler against the Olympic champion. Easy money. Who would I have go over? Who did I have go over before? Who have we already had go over now? We've had Kidman go over.
You had
As a
Kidman
group,
went
yeah.
over, and
This
that's
changes
one-
it. It changes it now.
At one point, in WCW. I mean, what we could do is like obviously say our winners for the ones we picked, and then once we go back to the card again, we can change it depending on if we want to rebook. the show
I would
or
say
what.
Kurt. I would say
You want
Kurt
Kurt?
goes over.
Kurt's
Yeah.
going to go over. No
It's
problem.
tight though. He probably gets it in a roll up at the end. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
No, love it. Scott, go on then. What we're fighting there?
Very much like Garrett, I want a mat clinic that also has Kurt Angle in the match. But instead, I'll have him face Lance Storm. I'll have it be a proper American mat wrestling.
I was gonna say Lance
Yeah.
Storm. I was genuinely putting Lance Storm as well because I think he is so underrated.
So
Yes,
underrated.
he isn't
Oh,
on the
he's
rest
amazing.
of my card at this point, but
Oh.
I fucking love Lance Storm.
I love Lance Storm too.
and
I want it
Scott.
to be like,
Scott.
yes?
Technically an ECW guy as well. You did it.
Hey, without realizing. Thank you very much.
Was he
Yeah.
ECW at that point?
I think when they did the Alliance storyline back in the day, he was might have been more on the ECW side of things. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Well, he was the
But
first one to ever have a match or ever have a run-in, right? In the Invasion angle. I think he was the first one ever. And that's... Sorry, what am I doing? I like Lance Storm. Continue, Scott.
Thank you, Garrett. So I want it to be basically American traditional mat wrestling, Olympic style, versus Canadian mat wrestling. That kind of screw it. It's like WWE at the start of the century. Just have it be like a America versus Canada thing. Like I would like that. That'd be fine. As long as Lance Storm went over, I'm fine.
Solid. So you're going with Lance Storm for that winner. And is he
Yeah.
WWE? Is he WCW?
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, that's fine.
No, which will give WCW an initial 2-0 win.
Indeed.
It's like, cracking on.
Indeed. Jace, from you go, or would you like to go?
if you want to go, you go, Bob.
I'll take it. So we've obviously Garrett and Scott have gone for a bit of the Matt Classic kind of angle there, which is very good. I've gone for a bit more of I guess like a proper slugfest. So I've gone for William Regal versus Fit Finlay.
Ooh.
So if you've ever watched this stuff in WCW, it was essentially they was showing British Strong Style before British Strong Style were probably even wee lads. Proper like absolute brutal matches. Like usually if there was a crap WCW card, their match would be kind of the highlight to kind of make you want to watch it. But the storyline I had going into it, I'd actually do it as the Battle of the Commissioners. So I'd kind of follow the real booking, what happened back in the thing where Regal was placed as the commissioner during the invasion. And when WWE's attacked, it's quickly revealed that Finlay has been brought in as the WCW commissioner. So the bulk of their feud is just like in the invasion is backstage politics, each one trying to one-up each other as they make matches and announcements. And then you get to this big finale show, and both men decide that it's time, like, the talking is over, and then you get back in the ring to face each other again. And I've got Fit Finlay to go over in that. So on my card, WCW will be 2 points up.
So mine is a battle of the behemoths, battle of the big men. I've gone for, because we'll have had the Cruiserweight match, high flying, high energy, high octane. You need a bit of a slower match to bring that energy back down a little so the fans don't get burnt out. So I'm going to go with Kevin Nash versus Kane.
Okay.
But I think, like, because you can bring into it the whole fake Diesel, so if they could play that into a story. But I'm going to have Big Sexy go over, and this is going to be a theme throughout the night of NWO members getting involved.
Okay.
Not getting involved like physically, but like just having their presence at ringside or something just to try and give them that little bit of an edge.
I can see
Big Sexy going over Kane.
Okay. Okay.
I I like that. I like that one. Right. Well, I'll cast my vote first, and even though it's gonna screw up one of my main event matches, I think I'd probably go with Garrett on this one for myself.
I thank you. It's the right decision. I can't vote for my own, so and I think my interruption in his description is pretty much telling of what I like. So I would vote for Scott because I quite like Lance Storm.
Okay. And since I can't also vote for my own, and because his had Kurt Angle in it, we've got to vote for Garrett.
Well, just to be awkward, I'm just going to go vote for Scott so it's a tie.
All right.
All right.
Respect the whole.
Here we go, Scott. You ready?
Scissors first. Yeah.
Of course.
Count it.
1, 2, 3, shoot. He's behind, so it's fine. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Fuck.
Oh, there we go. So that was Scott with the win there. So that was Kurt Angle versus Lance Storm. You said Lance Storm's going over?
Yes. And I tell you what, I'm going to even pay homage to he's over here. Jace a little bit here. I'm going to have the NWO do a bit of shenanigans as well mid-match. But won't cause the finish, but their presence is felt.
Lovely. Brilliant. So next up was our tag team match. So just a standard 2v2 tag team match. Jace, why don't you take us through yours first?
So mine, I've been debating, like, because there's 3 tag matches on the card. I've been, like, switching them about all day. So I think I'm going to go just for a normal, bog standard tag team match. I'm going to go Edge and Christian versus Harlem Heat.
Just
got the same thing.
You got the same one.
Christian versus Harlem Heat.
I just think
I don't really have a
Edge and
story. I
Christian-
just went, that'd be a great match.
No,
That's all.
I just thought like Edge and Christian are probably one of the best.
You
tag
two now
teams
become
in
one vote.
WWE.
Yeah.
You two now
Oh,
become
okay.
one singular
Okay.
vote.
Two become one.
Harlem Heat are one of the best tag teams in WCW. Get them in the ring, just let them go. Especially with like
no same reason in here.
if you've got Edge and Christian there with their if you've watched any of like Table for Three or any documentaries about Edge and Christian, like in the pitch meetings for the TLC matches, you've got Bubba Ray was pitching ideas, Devon was silent, Matt was pitching ideas, Jeff was silent, but Edge and Christian were both pitching ideas. So I think if you have them two with Booker T and Stevie Ray, you've got something magical.
Oh, absolutely. Who have you got going over for this one? I've got Edge and Christian, I believe.
I also had Edge and Christian.
Yeah. So on my card,
This
that's
is
where
rigged. This is
it
rigged.
is the point.
I'll take it. You don't have the same one, Garrett.
I don't have the same one. What do you have, Scott?
I have the Steiners versus the Dudleys. I know.
Hold on.
I'm
I'll
sorry,
put that
you
in
don't.
a later match.
You know, because you don't know, because that's what I have.
You're kidding. You're kidding.
I threw it up in the air because I was like, I'm gonna bring back. Obviously, we're gonna put Scott Steiner in, but then I'm like, no,
Yeah, of course.
tag team wrestling, Steiners.
They're
and,
one of the best known WCW tag teams ever. Like,
right?
yeah. And,
Yeah,
on my
100%.
list, but later.
and that's just Steiner maths. That's
I
just
have
That's
that match
Dynamite.
later in the class.
All right.
All right.
I threw it up, right? And I'll move some tag teams on a different thing just to have a different one for this one. And it's Steiners versus.
It's easy.
Should we just go for all
2v2.
four of us at the
2v2.
same time? All four of us at the same time,
Wait,
right?
Garrett,
You have to do scissors first.
Garrett, who have you got going over?
Oh yeah, you guys got going over.
I would have probably gone Steiners, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah.
All right.
Scissors
1,
first.
2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay, that is. All right, we all beat each other there. I beat Greg. You beat. All right.
Right.
1,
Garrett
2,
and Greg. Garrett and
3,
Greg
shoot.
just do it.
Garrett and Greg. Okay.
All right.
Garrett and Greg. Garrett
1,
and Greg.
2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah!
Ah, there we go. That
High
screws
five,
up with later matches, but that's fine.
So yeah, that was yeah. I don't have to change on the thing now. Edge and Christian versus Harlem Heat with Edge and Christian going over.
What are the odds?
That was brilliant, lads. I love that.
I don't know what to do for some of these now.
You have well and truly screwed up some of my future plans by doing that. Oh no!
Because mainly as well because like some of those singles guys I can't.
I tailor-made a match later for Harlem Heat, and
it's fucked.
It's fucked. Yeah.
What's your
All
next
right.
fucking match?
Fourth match was a free choice. That was where you could pick any number of contestants and pick the stipulation. Garrett, why don't you take us through your choice? Or are you doing some rework? Are you doing some reworking? Would you like me to go
Maybe.
first? Do you want me to go
Yes,
first? Okay. So for my free choice, I thought this would just be a nice little break match, and it allows you to get a lot of extra talent on the card. I'm going with a 10-man Hardcore Championship Invitational, where I've got Rhino entering as Hardcore Champion versus Raven versus Tommy Dreamer versus Crash Holly versus Hardcore Holly versus Sean Stasiak versus Chris Canyon versus Chuck Palumbo versus Sean O'Hare versus Norman Smiley. No real storyline going this. The Hardcore title was what it was, which is a lot of people. It's a bit like the 24/7 title now, but better. And I'd have Rhino walk away with the belt because
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
just a fun little break match is before we get to like all the big stuff. Yeah,
You can have a couple fun spots in there as well. Do an Io Shirai, get a dustbin on someone's head. Have him jump from the rafters.
yeah. Or do the Rhino thing where he goes himself into the shopping cart. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
amazing.
spot.
So, yep, just a simple 10-man Hardcore Invitational. Jace.
See, I'm going to have to rework this one because one of the people in this match has already been used.
Okay.
But the person I want to change him with, I'm not sure whether he's allowed.
Go through it, and we'll. I am going to allow a little bit of bending because obviously we are fucking with the time because there's a match very later on which could prove controversial for me. But I think
Okay, so
just go for it.
the original match, I was going to have like sort of the ultimate like baby face of WCW, and that's DDP versus Kurt Angle, who at the time was like they were very much like Olympic hero. So I thought ultimate like big baby faces.
Mm.
But then, because Angle's already been used, I think I'm going to trade Angle for, if he's allowed, for Shawn Michaels.
That's fine, because Shawn Michaels I've got later on.
Okay, so I'm having Shawn Michaels.
It's fine because
DDP
I have
versus
it.
Michaels.
Okay,
And
so
this one, I'm going to have Michaels go over, but once again, the NWO is going to get involved, but on behalf of Shawn.
Oh.
He's not defecting to WCW, but this is going to be like the NWO's fuck you to DDP for not joining, and it's going to be a click.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of good. That's good.
That's good. Scott, what have you got for this one?
I've gone slightly out of the box. I've gone for a submission match. Simply put, one of the people there is Dean Malenko. The other person I want to stress is a young up and comer who from WCW at the time. I think a very good thing to do at an event like this is to strap a rocket on a star with a lot of potential's back.
It's Ric Flair, isn't it?
It's not a young up and coming Ric Flair. No, a certain AJ Styles, who happens to find himself on the WCW roster at the time, very young, start of his career, pre-TNA. I know it's pre-TNA teething AJ Styles. He's very green at the time. But we all know he has the capability, he has the talent, and it was all there. He just needed to tap into it in TNA. I think if the Invasion storyline had gone well, Styles might not have needed to go to TNA. Strap the rocket on this guy's back, I say. Submissions match, and I'll have Malenko win, but Styles will get very, very, very close.
Okay. No, I mean, that would be very interesting, especially looking back in hindsight, for sure. Garrett, have you managed to fix yours yet?
Not really. What I've written is my brain was like women, and then I was like WCW, no women. And then I put Trish Stratus in a putting on more clothes match. Because for what I remember, there was a bra and panties match in the Invasion pay-per-view way back when.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there was. It was Trish.
Remember when that was a thing?
And Corey. Yeah.
No, you know what? Here's mine. It's a backstage segment where the McMahons, because the worst part about the Invasion is it was all about the McMahons, right? They arrive in their limo, and then I don't know, Bischoff blocks their door. Can you stop growling at me because you want my dinner? I'll give you some dinner. Here it is. There you go. Stop growling at me. Bischoff has Bischoff and Paul Heyman somehow align just for a day, and then block their car so they're trapped in it for the entire event, so we don't get any McMahons at the event. That's my match there. Cool.
And they're all
just Bischoff and Heyman trying to hold the door closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all put on more clothes.
Yeah, they all put on more clothes.
Stephanie puts on some trousers instead of one of them dresses that nearly has her arse out.
Oh, she keeps the dress on but puts the trousers on underneath.
Over. Yes.
Over
like overalls.
Okay, let's take a vote on the free choice one then. Who votes for Scott? I'll vote for Scott. Do you vote for Scott as well? Okay. Who votes for James?
Well, no one if everyone's voting for Scott.
Don't know. I'll vote for you.
What? Scott can vote?
I got a vote.
Scott, who are you voting for?
Greg.
It's weird because it flips it.
Jace, who are you voting for?
I was going to vote for Scott. I'd love to see that match. I'd love to see that match now.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So, Dean Malenko versus AJ Styles in a submission match. Brilliant. Through. And you said,
I think you're just using this power of hindsight. You know what? That match would be booed out of the fucking arena.
It's got Malenko in it. You can't look at it.
At first, I was thinking AJ and Dean, brilliant, but AJ didn't really become a submissions guy till he went to Japan.
He's got the calf crusher. He's got the.
But he didn't really use that. He didn't really use that before he went to Japan. That was what was throwing me off. But then I thought it's AJ Styles.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
Now. He's on the card.
He is literally phenomenal. It's in his name.
Yeah.
You don't get things in your name just because you want them. This isn't pro wrestling.
Right.
You can literally go right now to Deed Poll and you can change whatever you want about your name because you want it. All right. So yes, you can get whatever you want in your name.
You can't get anything.